Good evening, Douglas. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to week
Evening.
3 of Show Me the Money. It's we've been round the division once now, Douglas. It's some of us are still 3-0 after playing their divisional opponents. Some are not.
Yes,
But
yes. You on the north, we get it, we know it, blah, blah, blah.
listen. This is the week that it's really started, though, isn't it? I mean, the injuries have really kicked in this week. Things are flipping. Chase isn't looking that great, with Browning. He had a bad game with Browning. Neighbours didn't show up again. At least Nico Collins has turned up. AJ Brown's turned up. So things are starting to happen now. It's going one way or another. And indeed, our rookie team sacked in the morning are actually the top scorers this week. So that's got to be pleasing for Aaron after the way he got the win stolen off him last week.
Yeah, everything's just flipped a little bit, which is good for the league, clearly. You don't want to see teams rooted at the bottom. And it's, the bunny's got to win. So, it keeps everyone interested.
I mean, there's only 2 0-3s already. We're only 3 weeks in, and there's only 2 teams that got off the mark. And one of them, to be fair to them, our Johnny and his Madhouse G-men, they've ran into 302 points in this
Yeah,
league after
yeah.
3 weeks. I mean, that's harsh. That's over 100 points a week. That's a harsh total to be coming up against.
He's had it tight. I'll give him that. Because I was thinking, I've run into a few points, but it's not at the same time. It's not like it's been my own fault as well. But yeah, Johnny's had like 20 or 30 points more, and he's not scored that badly. So yes, I guess it.
Well,
I mean, it could happen, but sore one.
I mean, I've got a line through Ray's teams and his Batman's boobies. Obviously, they get a line through them because of the way the draft went. But I
But
think,
but Craig, even on that, like he's getting like 70 odd points a week. I'm sure he will get a win or two at some point if he keeps getting
I
70
agree.
points. He's just got these 2 or 3s. Well, he's got McCaffrey and Nakua, who are pretty damn consistent, and so he might get a couple of. He should
Absolutely.
be.
He will get wins, but I'm scoring a line through him for the title,
Yeah.
At 0-3, I'm not putting a line through Johnny yet, the G-men yet, because I think that they've still got a shout even at 0-3. I think they've just been unlucky the first 3 weeks. And there's always a team that runs into them at the start, that runs into the big scores. And it just so happens that it's Johnny this week, this year so far. But will we start in the north this week then, Johnny? Will we go north and
Let's do that.
Start as we mean to go on, and will we jump in for so first up in Baxter We Trust, 54.78 after the abuse that some were getting last week for being outscored by Raymond. And Varsity Blues changed my life, 84-12. Nice win for Grote. He's got one on the board now, 1 and 2. You never want to go 0-3 through your division, and that's Grote got his win. And it's a heck of a team that he's got there to be going out into the masses, and he'll be delighted this week, I'd imagine, because of course he done it without Daniels as well, his main quarterback.
Listen, I said it, I mentioned it earlier. If he was sitting with Ken Walker in that lineup, injury risk that Ken Walker might be or not, and that would be a difficult team to beat because McMillan will, as he said himself, he's not getting touchdowns yet. They'll come. McMillan will get better. Rookie wide receivers tend to start flying the second half of the season, and he's doing fine. Chris Olave is a subtle cheat code at the minute because he's getting loads of targets. And although the Saints are rubbish, they're going to constantly have to keep throwing the ball. So Olave will keep getting those targets and the points. I mean, he had something like 14 targets, I think. Judkins,
14 targets, 10 catches, but 57 yards there, and lies your issue.
Yeah, absolutely. But at some point, he's going to get some touchdowns. At some point, he's going to get a couple of breakaways. So yeah, I think he's got a cracking lineup.
Year 3 or year 4 for Chris Olave? Is this year 3 for him now
Oh God, no, might
in the league?
be
I think it's year 3's. And do you know how many touchdowns
no
he's got?
year four.
Look,
Year 4.
two touchdowns. Two touchdowns he's had in his whole entire career.
No,
He
no, no,
has.
no, 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 no. He got 5 touchdowns in 23 and 4 touchdowns in 22.
Oh, where was I reading that he had two? That he had two for something then.
No, no, he only got 1 last year.
He only got one way, or maybe it was
Yeah,
something
but I
like
mean, he
that then. But
played
yeah,
half.
I mean,
He played half the season.
he's not exactly a touchdown hog. He never has been. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they should come. You know, they will have better, easier games as well. Than we'll have easier games in that Seattle defense. That does look pretty solid as well. You know, but I mean, yeah, who are you putting in? Who are you putting Walker in over though? That's the thing as well. I think he done fine with the Walker trade, and I think his team's still strong enough to make a playoff push. I really do.
No, listen, he gave away. He gave up Fleming Walker for Samson. I mean, Samson's now. I mean, fine. He'll get more action if Judkins goes down, but he's getting like no work now. Judkins has come in.
That is a problem. But when they done the trade, you didn't know when Judkins was coming in. There was no sign of Judkins coming in.
I know, but still.
It was all done
Anyway,
very
listen, all trades are hindsight. So we've probably spent long enough on this.
Where are you? I don't think so. I think we've not talked him back to we trust yet. So what's happened here? 54 points.
The crack is that
quarterback's not doing it.
J.K. Dobbins really, and Tony Pollard, they get pass marks. Everyone else, nothing really happened. I've obviously got a Trevor Lawrence problem because he's just not. I don't know. That offense is weird. Brian Thomas is dropping the ball. Travis has the ball for this season. He's trying to target Parker Washington, and oh man, and his completion rate's just minging Lawrence's, and he's not getting enough touchdowns. I will absolutely 100% be fielding Brock Purdy next week, so that should help because Purdy is obviously world class. Chase Brown problem, no one's run for as little yards as he has with the attempts in last week. So that whole Bengals offense is a problem. Neighbours should benefit from Dart coming in. So Russell Wilson's season is over. So I'm not concerned. Yeah, Dart's starting this weekend.
You think that helps Neighbours?
Oh yeah, it will.
I thought Russell Wilson's got 450 yard. Russell Wilson's got 450 yard games in his back pocket. I'm pretty confident Jackson Dart's not going to throw for 450 yards anytime this year.
Craig, if you look, the Cowboys, like every quarterback is shatting the Cowboys so far. Like they've suddenly made Caleb Williams a superstar. Except so field your quarterback against the Dallas Cowboys because that's been what's happened so far. I mean, if the Giants have seen what they've seen and they're putting Dart in already, I mean, they must know. I thought Dart looked pretty good preseason. So yes, I do think he will help Neighbours, and I need to do something about the Ravens D. They're going to have to go, quite frankly, because that's two minuses in 3 weeks. So they're going to have to go.
Don't look very good this year for whatever reason.
No, I'm going to have to start streaming them. But yeah, I mean, I need to work out the Chase Brown thing. And I don't really have a.
Chase Brown's. I thought Chase Brown would do better without Burrow. But
and do you know what? Maybe that will happen. The biggest problem is the Bengals O line is absolutely murder.
It's absolute rank.
I don't understand how that. I don't know how that organization cannot find 5 big boys to just do something, But anyway, so yeah,
probably can, but they don't want to pay them is the problem, so they don't get them.
1 and 2 is not ideal, but I'm in this position pretty regularly and show me the money. I really am. I don't do well against the division. Just let me go and play everyone else, and it'll all come good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, 1 and 2, it's no, 7 and 7 can get you into playoffs in this league, so I wouldn't be worried at 1 and 2,
Yeah,
especially given the fact that you've played three big teams as well. You've played three decent teams, three teams that are scoring well so far.
yeah. Oh no, listen, everyone in the north is not going to be far off the playoffs. Well,
No,
probably
I
in it.
agree, and it's the last three games are going to be pretty make a big difference, I think, this year in the North Division.
Yeah,
So, talking of the North Division, my good self, might show me the Packers, 81-92, not a good week, but got the better of Sean in his Factory of Sadness all the same, who could only muster up 67. And, Achan didn't get me off to a good start on Thursday night with just 9 points. I was wanting more from him there. And honestly, if it wasn't for Taylor going absolutely crazy, I was in trouble this week. I was in trouble, and even with Taylor going crazy and Sean losing Evans and Chase doing nothing, he still was sitting there with Derrick Henry last night, and I was still. I woke up this morning fully expecting to see myself having lost, so it was a bit of a bonus, I think, and a week that both Sean and I will kind of tuck away, saying next, please, and move on. But obviously, I'm delighted with the win.
yeah. I mean, you've got away with it, which is ideal for you. I mean, Sean's not had the best of injury fortune so far. He lost Fields last week against me. He's lost Evans. I know Evans still got 9 points, but he's lost Evans. He has. He's not lost Chase, but he's lost half of Chase because of Burrow. I mean, Chase is barely a top 10 receiver now, probably. But he has gained Trey Benson
Benson.
because of Connor's injury. So, I mean, Sean's not going anywhere if he can get Fields back, and Fields does okay, but he does need that. He was let down a bit by Tucker Kraft as well. He would have expected a bit more from him, but equally, you got nothing out of Warren. I guess your biggest problem is who do you play, Golden or do you play Debo? Which isn't that big problem.
Yeah, I mean, Debo stays in, especially if when Daniels comes back. Obviously, Debo's the starter, but at the moment, this week I'll play Golden probably just because we're at Dallas.
Also,
but,
what you did at quarterback, because you do have a legitimate head-wrecking decision there.
I will be making exactly I will be making the exact call that you mentioned in your earlier on. I will be playing my quarterback against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh no. Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. No. Right. That's a fair shout. But
And I might look at Knicks.
Out with that, Knicks was obviously favoured over Love in the draft, and I still like is. I don't know. Is Love gonna get you that many points? He did. To be fair, he did okay the first couple of weeks. But
I think
I
he'll
don't know.
do fine.
He will,
I
but
think Knicks will do better. I think Knicks will do better. Knicks will definitely play games for me. It's not a Jordan Love's there and Knicks is only there for the bye week. I've picked Knicks up. I went and paid for him in agency, and the reason I paid for him because he was the sixth quarterback and off the board in most leagues.
I've missed him. I've just completely. I think I maybe tried to get him, but I just didn't.
He shouldn't have been in. He was dropped in. I think it was Mark that dropped him to agency. I may be wrong there, and I apologise if I'm Mark. But I think it was Mark that dropped him to agency. And it's one of those, he's like the sixth quarterback off the board, and then he's an agency. No, he shouldn't be there. So so I went and picked him up, and I will play him for sure at some points. Yeah. But Jordan Love holds the spot this week.
You're sitting very pretty with Aitken and Taylor because they are two proper. There's not that many proper bell cows, and they're two of them.
Absolutely, and I'm quite happy with Kamara. I know Kamara didn't do anything this week, but he'll do well. He'll have his weeks as well. I'm more than happy with my running backs as long as the three of them stay fit. And that's a big thing for me, them staying fit.
I think Kamara will, but he's going to. Your problem there is you do really need the touchdowns as well, and I just wonder if he might be a wee bit restricted on the touchdown front. They've also got to play some pretty decent Ds in the next few weeks.
Yeah, there you go. It was Mark that dropped him for Penix. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. I'm sure you'll be delighted with that move this week. So anyway, let's head into the south now, and we'll hit up. Who will we hit up? Bluetoon Patriots 96.78. So Chris can feel himself hard done to not to be 3-0, but he's not 3-0, he's 2-1 because after the abuse thrown at him all week last week, straight out of Hampton, finally finds the victory. 110 points as well. He didn't just win his game, Doug. He stuck two fingers right up in your face, did he not?
He did, but did you observe that clearly he's been looking and watching and he's been taking it all in. He would pretend that he's got his fingers in his ears half the time, but no. He's seen and heard it all, which is pleasing. I mean, let's be honest. It's a great win, right? It might be difficult to call him the league bunny, but really, he's won because of his kicker and his D. He's gotten away with it. Now,
I mean, it's big points for the kicker, big points for the D. That is a good kicker and that is a good D, you know.
It is, but
Hampton, especially with the injury to Naj, he must be delighted to have now that he's finally showed up.
Good. I tell you what, the Chargers are looking good. Jim Harbaugh, soft spot for him, obviously an ex-49ers coach. Jim Harbaugh just knows how to win football matches.
He does. He really does. He's won everywhere he's went, you know, and he's done it quickly. It's not like he walked into that Chargers team, and that's a not perennial loser team. You know, they were a good team, and he took over a good team. But they were like the Browns, like the Jets. They find a way to lose, you know, they find a way to blow it. But he got them to playoffs year one, and they're now 3-0, and they've played all the division. They've played the whole division,
and they're doing it. They're doing everything that they were meant to do. They're passing the hell out of the ball. Herbert's pretty much on target for 5,000 yards. No one thought that was coming. No one.
I mean, so Hampton picked up six catches from 7 targets as well. You know, doesn't help so much in this league, but it's still, you know, he's getting the targets and 18.9 points. I think he's only going to go upwards as the season goes on for them, you know. And then Waddle seems to be doing okay. Rome is obviously the Bears' number one target now. I mean, Smith will do okay. We call, you know, his team's okay, you know, and he's 1-2. I mean, it wouldn't.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you know, we're obviously teasing him because we like to do that. He's absolutely fine. I'm sure he will be working out how he can go and get a quarterback. That's what I suspect he's bound to be doing. Because I can't.
Will I give you the golf course? Chat. So we're walking off the first tee right after I've picked him up because I bid 38, he bid 28, and I got him and he didn't. You know, so the chat went along the lines of I said to him, well, I'm pretty sure our bye week's early. Our bye week's week 6. So you know, if you're kind of sitting about 4-3, 3-4 come week 7. You know, come knock on my door, Bo Nix will be available. And the response was, piss off, you outbid me for him. so there we go. He's going to cut his nose off despite his face.
Well, no, he probably won't because he knows that you'll make him bleed. But and you probably don't want to enrich a rival because he probably is a title rival. But he'll be looking, I would think, because he won't want to rely on Rodgers, I don't think, for the whole season. Rodgers has got too much scope to throw a bad one in.
I mean, he's picked up Browning just in case, but obviously that's not going to be the answer. So it'll be someone else that he picks up this week to see if they can do it. But yeah, Chris was unlucky. I mean, 96 points, and this was a low-scoring week as well. I mean, the top score was only 117 or something like that. It was a low-scoring week, so Chris can feel hard done to losing with 96 points. And I mean, he's lost it there. Even going into the final game, you know, Jamo Williams. He wasn't dead, let's put it that way. You know, he needed a lot of points, but Jamo
Yeah,
Williams
no,
could have
totally.
got 20 points.
He got less than 20 off of Jamo and Goff, and he could easily have got a chunk more than that. No, Chris has nothing to worry about either. That's a good roster. That's a good roster.
Yeah, with Mason and with Jones out as well. Oh, Graham's got Kilts come back still. But yeah, Henderson's going to. I mean, what did I say last week? I talked last week about Stevenson's just a fumble or two away from getting the bullet. And not only did he fumble once, he fumbled twice. And then Gibson fumbled. So that's got to be good news for TreVeyon Henderson.
I would think so. Yeah, it's got to be.
So yeah, no issues for Chris there either. He's 2-1. He's right up there, and the team is solid enough. He just ran into a score this week. And then the other game in this division we have, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I cannot believe I'm saying this stuff. But boys are back in town of 2-1, beating the Kirkwall Raiders 89.42 to 75.94. And how is Ross is the new mark by the looks of it?
Well, he's got like absolutely flying F all on his bench, like nothing. So he squeezed the roster. He squeezed 89 points, and he's got Josh Allen. I mean, and I'm facing him next week.
Everyone apart from Ward is injured on his bench, so that's never a good sign. But as you say, he squeezed the points out of it. You know, Nico Collins done it for him. Hawkinson finally done a little bit of something. Shakir got a little bit. And, you know, that was all he needed because Allen was let down by Prescott. He was let down by losing Lamb. He lost Lamb without a touch. That's a disaster for Allen. I mean, when you lose a player like Lamb, I mean, it's only for a couple of weeks, I guess. It's not for the season, so it's not too bad, but
you can't odds this. I'm looking at like Josh Allen. I've got him next week. And I'm like, I wonder when Allen's bye is and who's he got when Josh Allen's on his bye. Typical. Guess who he's playing?
Me.
Aye. I mean, honestly, you can't make it up. Anyway.
Well, I mean, it's after the way his draft went, you know, 4 quarterbacks and all that jazz. He's not got a running back worthy of, you know, he's managed to bring in Gainwell, who got him 8.6 points this week. So that was actually quite big. That's a nice move for him. But yeah, there's trouble there. The whole entire bench is knackered, and it's great that he's 2-1 for, and it shows that he's given it the old Sunday best, you know. But surely that's got to fall apart at some point along the way. As for Allen, I mean, he's going to need to hold on and hope that Lamb's back sooner rather than later, you know, because at 1 and 2, you can't be losing kind of the next 3 weeks, you know. It's a long way back from 1-4, 1-5, so he's going to need to find a way to win. But he'll be happy with Scatterbury, especially with Tracy down.
1 Nelson Johnson.
Is that 1 Nelson Johnson, is it?
Honestly, free money. I swear to God. Anyway, it's like we said when we did the review of the draft. Every roster this season has, I don't know, they all look okay. Ross's he's drafted 4 quarterbacks, but a wee bit of a turnaround later, and it's all right. Just the running back situation. Yeah,
running back situ for there. I mean, Allen's team's okay. Allen's team's fine, but it just, you know, with Lamb out, that's a big one to cover. You know, I mean, you Lamb, you're expecting that's 20 points a week you need to cover, and that's difficult to do.
Yeah, but and Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's got a guy who's defying all sorts of silly stats at the minute. I mean, he's so efficient. So you've got London and Jackson Smith and Jigba at wide receiver. Fine. He's got Scatterbo, Warren, and
Harvey and McNichols. I mean, he's got options there.
Probably Tootin. I would think Tootin will, you know, if he gets some goal line work, he'll keep doing it. McNichols looks like he might be the you know, he's on a kind of 50-50 with Bill. So he's got options there, and Lamb's not out. He's not out for a. Well, they're saying 2 or 3 weeks, but yeah, and no, their buys later on, so that's and one of those games against Sauce, which and Sauce usually handles the wide receiver all right, so Allen will be all right as well.
My big worry for Lamb is in 3 weeks' time, if they're sitting at 1-5, how much is Lamb really want to come back this season? That would be my bigger worry with Lamb more than anything else.
Yeah, but they've got the Jets and the Panthers, Craig. So I mean,
do they have? Fair enough.
I would think they'll manage to squeeze wins there. Will they not? They're away from home, right enough, but they're not that minging. Well, they maybe are actually.
The sense is. But let's move on to the East now, Johnny, and we'll go and have a wee look at Copen Badley Jets losing with 85 points. So again, it's an unlucky loss for Mark. 85 points is a kind of pass. It's par in this league again. But he ran into Tartan Bears, who topped the 100-point mark, 101.56, and it puts Tartan Bears 3-0 for the season. Another 3-0 team, and flying along. St. Brown back at it after a week 1 down. Cook looks like the real deal again this year. I can't believe how low Cook was going in drafts. Honestly,
I know.
And I agree. Of course, AJ Brown did the bounce back for him. So yeah, things are looking very good for Tartan Bears at the moment.
They are, and you wouldn't say Mahomes has really got going yet either. He did all right the first 2 weeks, right enough, but that's. I think AJ Brown's quite a big thing because he's obviously been so quiet, but he looked like a proper bully again at the weekend. And if they continue to feed him, he's just too good a receiver not to, because when he scores really well. When he gets the big play, the real big plays.
The problem with Brown, though, is that he got the big plays, and it was because we're 27-6 down or something like that. How often are Philadelphia going to be that far down that they need to go chasing it? And that's the problem with Brown. They're more than happy to run it to death with Barkley. It didn't work on Sunday, but it'll work more than it won't.
Yeah, no, that's a fair shout. And then Mark, well, he's got a running back problem obviously because he doesn't have a second one. He's now not going to have a clue which tight end to play each week.
That was Andrews was a kind of garbage time touchdown at the end there, though, wasn't it? It was one of his 2 touchdowns and the majority of his yards. So I still think you've got it, but it's a problem. You're right, it's a problem. He needs to come knocking on your door pretty soon before Kelsey loses all value.
Well, yeah, there is that. I mean, he wouldn't be getting a lot out of me for him at the minute, I have to say. And then he's got to decide. I mean, at the minute he's going to play Darnold over Penix, and he gave up Bo Nix for Penix. Talk about week 1 overreactions. But he's, I mean, Mark, listen, you never rule him out because he just manages to find wins from nowhere. But even T. Higgins as well, he's not exactly going to thrive on
T. Higgins is a big problem.
Yeah,
I don't think Higgins has ever played a good game with Browning at quarterback. I think it's just T. Higgins he's missing. So yeah, that's a huge problem there for him. But I mean, it's Mark, and as you say, Mark finds wins from nowhere. I think this is one of the first times I've ever seen him play the wrong player. Playing Kelsey over Andrews. His bench is usually nothing.
I just wonder if he would like to just move on from Bijan. He's maybe had enough of him.
Well, if he wants to do that, he can knock on my door. That's my door will be open to Bijan, Mark. That's for sure. So elsewhere, Graham and his Sparks Flying Eagles finally got off the mark. 92-30.34 against, and again, Batman's boobies, made an absolute pig's ear of the draft. They drafted everybody not playing in week one, but somehow managed to snaffle up 70 points. And yes, it's a loss. Yes, he's 0-3, but he's scoring 70 points a week, Doug. He's going to win a game.
Mayfield, McCaffrey, Nakua, the Eagles D, and Dicker the kicker. So he's got that. He's the most consistent team in the league.
And McCaffrey, did you mention CMC there? I think he skipped CMC.
CMC, I love him a bit. You know why. I mean, the guy, I'm a bit concerned about how many touches he had at the weekend. He had 27 touches. I know why we're doing it, and we could do with some of the other guys back just to relieve some of that pressure, because you wouldn't exactly be shocked to hear that he's got something in the next 2 or 3 weeks because he's getting that much work. But most of it's in the
100%.
receiving. He's not. We're not rushing the ball particularly well yet, but there is in the receiving game. I mean, he's barely missed a catch. Basically, you would expect that, but he's getting fed.
He missed 5 on Sunday. He did have 15 targets, 10 catches. So he's missing a few.
Sunday wasn't as good, but that was because he was in the slot so much that. It was him or Pearsall. That was it. That was our
Well, and for Graham, Barkley didn't do it for him, and I guess this is actually not the worst. It's not the worst stack you could ever do. I'm not a fan of quarterback running back stack, but Hurts and Barkley, one of them's going to do you well every week. At least one of them will do you really well every week. It wasn't Barkley's turn this week, but Hurts turned it on in the second half and banked him the 31 points, which has been the difference in the end. Everyone else is kind of meh. Apart from he's got Hurts 30 points and he's got Seahawks 16 points, and the rest of them are just kind of pass or just under par.
He's got God, when you look at it, Hurts gets 31 points for less than 250 yards. It was 3 thrown touchdowns and one that he ran in, but that's a fair old total for even for a quarterback. And the rest of Graham's team, I don't know. I think there's stronger out there. Austin, Chubb, Pitts. He's rightly dropped Ridley.
Ben's been Dowdle, Tesla, Diggs. Ridley will have his weeks for sure. Musgrave, I think Graham's got work to do, and it's not. Graham's usually solid and right up there and challenging, but I think he's got a fight to get into the playoffs this year because I think there's some really strong teams kicking around. I have to say.
Agreed.
He's off the mark, and that's the main thing. So now into the final division, we will go and take a look at last week's games for the West. And we'll start off with Le'Veon in a prayer. Now, again, this game, Michael was a favourite the whole way. And then, Eskimo Brothers have Caleb Williams trotting out at 9.25, and 37 points. That must have been heartbreaking for Michael to watch that as it went down, So it must have been really, really cheesing.
Caleb looked really good as well. Some of the 2 or 3 of the throws that he made, the torque that he puts on the ball, not even like with his feet planted properly. There's not many quarterbacks can do that. He's just starting to kind of look like he does have a bit of something about him.
Which is you're getting suckered then.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Some of those throws were just different.
It was. It certainly made a difference in this game, and that's despite the fact that Michael's defense showed up for 30 points against the Cincinnati Bengals. 30 points for the D.
Yeah,
wasn't enough.
Michael was not far off in Baxter We Trust score, but for the D, because the rest of his teams was pretty minging, to be fair.
I mean, he lost Connor, so and Connor's out for the season now. That's him gone for the season, so that's obviously a problem for him. He's had to play Algier because Tracy was out, and Tracy's out for the season now. So
no,
yeah, I mean, Michael's got a few
Tracy's
issues
just
that's
out
got
for
to look into now.
2 or 3 weeks. Tracy's only 2 or 3 weeks, but Scatterbo will
Yeah,
probably.
Tracy has, but Connor's the season.
Yeah, Connor's gone. Yeah, no, Michael's got a problem.
Yeah, Michael's got a wee bit of a problem there, but he is 2-1, and it's and Sean's obviously now 3-0. Sean must be having an absolute nosebleed 3-0. I mean, he doesn't know what 3-0 looks like.
No, totally, and I mean, he's solid as I'm still like Genty's got an issue in that he's getting hit so many times before he's crossed the gain line.
It's that line issue, aye.
Whole line is minging, but Travis Etienne's doing fine. Brian Thomas, in theory, will get better, but he needs to start actually catching the ball because his drops are not a good look. Myers is fine. McBride's obviously really good. Keenan Allen, he'll get fed all season long with the looks of it. So yeah, he's gonna. I don't like Sean's 3-0, doing great, set for the playoffs. But I would fancy one or two other rosters are just that bit stronger. What do you mean trade?
I would agree, and I what I don't like about Sean's team is how dependent it is on Vegas and how dependent it is on Jacksonville. That's just two teams that you don't want to be.
What are you looking at? This
happening? Are you looking at this? Ross is taking Pacheco for a fourth. No. Johnny, get a mask off. Take that mask off, Jonathan. I mean, I guess he needs running back. He needs running back help, but he's got Hunt. He's got Hunt there, so I guess that's him bagging up the Kansas City backfield.
Oh wait a minute. I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, sugar. I was thinking of this wrong. I'm thinking a fourth rounder. I'm thinking of rookie drafts, like a fourth round beat nothing. No, wait a minute here. That's actually Johnny's got a fourth rounder for Pacheco. Man alive.
As that, and I'm sure he's smiling in the background as we speak.
Oh, unbelievable.
But yeah, good one for Sean. And talking of our Johnny, he's I would say that's the fire sale started, but I don't think it is. But yeah, here we go. Sacked in the morning, third ever game, and show me the money, and they're off and running. 117 points, top scored, and I mean Johnny's hit the 100-point mark and lost. So I think there was only 4 teams that got over 100 this week, and Johnny was one of them and lost. So that's a bit harsh. But I mean, it's and I'll tell you what, Tuesday night was an interesting night. Aaron's got Jackson and Montgomery playing, and Johnny's got Gibbs out there. So you're thinking, what way is this going to go? And it kind of went back and forward all Sunday. This one, it waved back and forward a little bit, but it came down to Monday night in the end, and Montgomery outscoring Gibbs is what's really done it for him, I would say, in the end.
Yeah, that's obviously security. You probably would have been hard pushed to expect 28 for Montgomery, but equally Gibbs got quite a good score. No, it's a good win for Aaron. He did need Jackson to obviously get 26 points as well, though, which is no given. It's never
a given in this league.
That's a welcome to your 30s, Aaron. You've got a win and show me the money.
Yes, welcome to your 30s.
Happy days. But yeah, his roster's all right. He'll be in the playoff mix and might get in, might not get in. I think.
I see him running. I see him running up just shy. I think 5 wins, maybe 6 wins. I think that's where he'll lie. But that issue for me, I've got there is just that the running backs. Breece Hall and Montgomery will do okay, but they'll do okay. They're not going to knock out the park week in, week out. And all he's got in the bench is Ford. He's going to, and Hill. He's going to need to find something at running back. And but his wide receivers are more than fine. Hunter will get better, and Romeo will have weeks. Pittman looks very good in at the Colts, I've got to say, but then they're all looking good in the Colts at the moment, aren't they?
No, they are. Oh, 2-0 Saints.
2-0 Saints. And as for Johnny's team, I mean, Johnny's team's just fine. Hubbart's going to do fine. May's going to do fine. Sutton came back, happy days. You know, he's got Pickens there, especially with Lamb out. That's massive. And he just ran into a score this week. He would have beaten every other team bar, I think, 2 others. So, and of course, Hunter Henry on the bench. If he'd have played Hunter Henry over Joanne Johnson, then he would be sitting here 1-2, and Aaron would be on 3.
Yeah. It's fine lines.
Fine lines indeed. So that's the 8 games from week 3. We'll have a wee look at the divisions now and see. Show me the Packers, the defending champions, sitting proud as punch at the top of the North once again. Second place in Baxter we trust. You're holding second at least. You're holding second up by like what 0.2 0.28
of a point.
0.28. And then Factory Sanders 1-2 and Varsity Blues 1-2 as well. The beauty of you 3 all being 1-2 is I have a 2-game lead, and I think it's the only 2-game lead.
Yeah, you're well ahead.
So into the south, and Bluetown Patriots and Chrissy's Bluetown Patriots are sitting 2-1 and at the top. No, who would have thought Rossi's Boys Are Back in Town would be sitting in second place? I don't think many, but there you go, 2-1. Good start to the season for Boys Are Back in Town. Straight out of Hampton's got off the mark, now sitting 1-2, and Kirkwall Raiders dropped down to 4th, 1-2, and still 1-2 though, that's fine. The East, Tartan Bears sitting at the top, 3-0, yet to be defeated. The Copen Badley Jets, 2-1. Mark getting the wins from nowhere. Farts Flying Eagles and Batman's Boobies could be a long season for those two from the looks of the teams. Both Graham's at least 1-2. Raymond obviously 0-3. And then down in the West, Eskimo Brothers 3-0. Levion and a Prayer 2-1. Sacked in the Morning 1-2. And the Madhouse G-Men down the bottom at 0-3. Oh, hello, pal. There you go. That the dog out. So yeah, there we go. That's it. That's the divisions. That's where we're sitting. As I say, no one's out of it apart from maybe Ray. And you know, it's only 3 weeks in. But that's it. That's us went round the divisions now. So now we're going out and we're going to play the rest of the divisions. And you know, the last 3 weeks are always 3 big weeks when you're back into your division. But you need to, for me, these games here in the middle where you're playing other divisions, you got to make sure that you're winning games, and it gives you a chance when you get back to your own division. You know.
No, absolutely, and there's some pretty interesting matchups there because you've got 2 3-0 teams taking each other on. So someone's definitely going 4-0. You've got 2-1 against 2-1. You've got 1-2 against 0-3. There's things are they're going to look different every week, but there's some pretty crunch matches there. And I think the way it looks on my scale look different on Johnny's, obviously. But the top 4 matchups for me are all slobber knockers. Good rosters against good rosters. So yeah, roll on.
Well, I mean, you've won a watch this week up against Boys Are Back in Town, you know, and they are 2-1 though, so it's
you got Pacheco. Boys trading to like try and beat me.
He's traded. Well, he's traded Pacheco in. So are you worried? But yeah, I'm playing. Show me the Packers playing straight at Hampton. So that's a big game for Graham. It's a bigger game for Graham than it is for me. But obviously,
I'm back in his place.
The win there. The Madhouse G-Men, they're taking on the Farts Flying Eagles. That's an old Kirkwall Derby show, an old Kirkwall Derby. Neither of them are on Kirkwall anymore, but they both used to be. And big game, you know, especially for Johnny. I mean, he's started really well, and yet he's 0-3. So big game for him. And Graham will be looking to keep going after the win. Then Sean's Factory of Sadness playing Chrissy's Bluetown Patriots. That's a real slobber knocker, that one, eh?
Oh, I know, absolutely. I tell you, Sean sitting at 1-3 after he's made that trade, that would feel a little bit ropey.
Certainly, you know, when you're sitting at 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, it's a long way back from that kind of score. You know, you really need to get that one on the board, so you do. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's so I think that is a huge game. It's a massive game for Sean, and it's a big game for Chris as well because he is only 2-1, and Graham's coming. You know, I think that the division will end up be between the two of them because I think Ross is too short at running back and Alan's lost too many to injury. But massive game. Aaron sitting at 1-2. He's got the Batman's boobies this week. So can sacked in the morning get to 2-2, or will this be the week where the boobies come good? And we've got a Peterhead derby. Michael's Levion and a prayer taking on Mark Scope and Badley Jets. So our regular season champions have dropped one. They need to get back on the horse. And then they're down at the bottom. We've got Groty's Varsity Blues taking on Allen's Cuckball Raiders. And, you know, Groty's heavy favourite for that one with all the injury worries Allen's got. But at 1-2, it's a big week for Allen. He needs that win.
yeah, absolutely. All to play for.
All to play for, and as I say, that's week 3's in the bag now. So that's us into week 4 already. We're coming up to the kind of quarter way through the regular season, and it's everyone's still in with a chance, but we're going to see teams starting to drop a wee bit now. You know, the 1s and 2s, they need to get to 2-2. If they go 1-3, 1-4, you can start ruling them out, you know, and that's when they might start selling. You know, that's when the sales really might start happening. Of course, I've avoided all injuries at the moment, but I'm not at 3-0. If I get an injury, I'm buying. I'm a buyer, you know. I'm on the hunt. So
Yeah, you normally don't like to do that, but that would force your hands. But yeah, you're fine at the minute. I don't think you need to push any panic buttons, even if you got an injury.
let's not forget I won this without making a single trade,
No,
without
I know.
trading away any draft capital whatsoever. I don't know. Obviously, maybe if we go right back to the start, but certainly the last kind of 5 or 6 years, the winner has always traded for, you know, has always traded. So yes, I'm
Is this
quite
you
proud of
trying
that
to
one.
elevate your victory?
And just a wee
And when look, the rings are all the same, so just shush.
bit.
You know, just shush. I don't think many people have traded everything away and kept coming third, but you know, we'll not go on
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
a good that's an even better trick, I think. If you come third, I'll tell you what. I'll make a promise to you. I will make a declaration right here and now. If you come third again this year, we'll make it a thing. How's that?
Right, noted. Write that one down,
Something to play
Commissioner.
for.
Very
Something
good.
to play
So,
for.
what about the real world then?
Well, yeah, okay, we lost. Let's do 5 minutes on the real world first. Honestly, I'm actually quite happy that the O is gone. You know, the longer that O stays there, it starts to become a noose round your neck, you know. So to get it right, it's gone. We've lost. Everybody will at some point along the way. Hopefully, it's a wake up call for the offense, especially. Hopefully, it's that wake up call. And yeah, it's week 3. We're 2-1. If it costs us home field advantage come the end of the season, then that'll be a little bit more annoying. But obviously, we don't know that yet. So we move on to Dallas.
Yeah,
On to Dallas.
that's the greater known. I think you're right in everything you're saying. To be honest, the Browns D is obviously very good. Miles Garrett is ridiculous. So
Absolutely.
you know
But
they're
other
going to.
teams scored on them and we haven't. So that's the annoyance. It's not they are brilliant, but they've conceded points in the first 2 weeks and then they
Yeah,
shut us
I think
out to death, really.
you're
Which
not
which is a tad
quite
worrying.
clicking on the offensive side yet.
And Jacobs just doesn't seem to be running very well at all up to
Is
now in the
that him or
season,
is
which is a bit of a worry for
that,
me as well.
that line? Is that the line or is that him? I'm not really seen enough to.
Honestly, I think it's more him than the line, but the line isn't as strong as it has been in the last few years, and that could end up maybe being a problem. But it's young as well, and I think there's there's time for them to come good, and we generally do quite well on our lines. Our lines are generally, well, certainly the O line has always been good. So there's no panic from me. Yeah, I still think we've got a great shout this year. I still think we're one of the better teams in the NFC, and we'll wait and see what happens come the playoffs. What does worry me a little bit is the way Detroit have bounced back from losing to us, because they ripped the Bears apart. Okay, it's only the Bears, blah blah. But then the Bears went and gave Dallas a going over, and then they've ripped the Ravens apart, and that's a worry.
And the Ravens, most people just about had as favourites.
And it was in Baltimore as well.
And it was in Baltimore, so yeah, that's quite a statement victory. They seem to be blitzing a lot, and that seems to be working for them. It's whether they get worked out doing that or not, because the art of the blitz is that it's meant to be a bit of a surprise, but yeah, that's a big win. As you say, they've bounced back. So yeah, the Eagles
been back as well.
The Eagles keep winning. The Rams are good. The
Rams look very. I'm actually annoyed that the Rams didn't win that though, because I'd rather the Rams with it. I think the Rams will lose games this season. The Eagles are a team that could go unbeaten, maybe lose one or two along the way, but we'll lose 3 or 4. And, I would like to think that the number 1 seed is an option at least, so I would have much rather the Eagles had lost that game than coming back and winning it. Yeah.
It's not, presuming the Eagles are in the playoffs, and they may well obviously be the number 1 seed going and winning in Philadelphia. That's going to be pretty tough for anyone.
What about your lot then? A 16-15 against. I mean, you keep winning, so this is
messy. Look, we lost the close matches last season. We lost to the Cardinals last season when we shouldn't have in a close one, and we've won this season. So that's progression. It was messy. Mac Jones was pretty average, but then he did pull it out the back when he had to. The throw in 4th and 2 that went away down the touchline to Pearsall. I don't know where that came from, but it worked. So we won. The kicker situation. Looks like it's resolved for just now anyway. Pearsall's looking good. The D is looking good. Obviously, that Bosa news is pretty gut wrenching, and that it's not like it obviously affects your D quite a bit, but I'm quite gutted for him, because that's the second time it's happened. And, for any player to lose that much of their career to ACL stuff, it's a bit crap, especially the real good ones.
And he is one of the one of the elites. It's you can make I mean, I always make light of the injury next man up and all that, but yeah, totally. losing a player like Bosa, he is of the elite. He is one of the top 5 and he's put from his position in the whole league. So it's hard to replace that. It's you have to replace it with a kind of revolving door almost, don't you? And give a few guys a chance.
I think the double whammy is where it was starting to look like we might have something, is that you have him who's constantly getting pressure on. So the opposition have got to pay attention to him first and foremost. And then we've got these 3 rookies on the line, and it was giving them a chance to develop with him constantly there. Now Bryce Huff, all the attention is going to be on him, which is fine, but Huff's just a kind of pin the ears back and go for it at the quarterback. There's no kind of subtlety to what he's doing, so I wonder if that will be obvious. And the rookies now, there's going to be so much pressure on them. And we joke about injuries. CJ West, the rookie D lineman, I read earlier he's broken his thumb. He needs surgery on his thumb. Okay. And it's like, right, they're just last week they look good together, the 3 of them, and you it's trying to get that momentum. I think the D can still be good, might not be as good now, but I think it can still be pretty good. Where Fred Warner's looking great, Demonor Lenoir is shutting guys down. He's only given up about 30 yards this season so far, but we've been playing pretty crap teams. But we'll see. The schedule's there to give us time and plenty of wins. So I still would like to think we should make the playoffs. Are we good enough to go and beat the Rams and the Eagles in the playoffs away from home? I don't know. But I was kind of sneaky optimistic about this season. I wasn't saying too much about it, but I was. But the Bosa thing is a wee bit deflating. But we need Purdy back, obviously, because as you know, as much as we joke about anyone can run that and whatever else, he is just much better than Mac Jones. Mac Jones is so immobile, it's no real.
He's 2-0.
He is, but that's because of who we were playing. I mean, the Cardinals should have had us put away when they got that safety near the end, and that was a big Calais Campbell. They should have had us put away. Kyler he's not helped by Harrison dropping the ball. Kyler can't throw the ball downfield. He's just weird.
He's a PlayStation quarterback now.
Yeah,
he's a PlayStation quarterback for me.
The Cardinals could be a better team, but I don't think they're going to be. And Harrison, I don't get it. I mean, there was one pass in particular. It was slightly underthrown, but he should still have caught it. So 3-0. We've got the Jags this coming week. Purdy will be back almost certainly because Jones, he finished on a gimpy leg, so I don't know what state he's in. So Purdy will be back. We've got the Jags, then we've got the Rams next week. The Rams week 5, and that's a huge match, obviously, because it's divisional. Whether we won't have Kittle back for that, unfortunately. But Jennings could be back, and so yeah.
Well, I mean, as you say, it's all about the playoffs for you guys, and it's what you look like when you get there, and that's a big thing because the schedule's there, and you will make the playoffs. It's just a case of how you look when you get there and what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's can we build momentum? I think having Salah back as defensive coach is huge. We just look like a different day. We're mixing things up. We're doing different things. He's identifying players to play in roles that, it just go back to 2019 and whatnot. We were just a really good D then, and that was him. And I think hopefully might be headed that way again. D Winters at linebacker. We're not missing Dre Greenlaw. Winters looks like he's got every bit of the venom that he did. So yeah.
Fingers crossed. Good.
Fingers crossed.
Well, you've got a better record than ours anyway, so not got a better record than Show Me the Packers, of course. You've got the same record as Show Me the Packers, so
Just kick your field goals, man. It's just one job. It's easy. Jake Moody's on the market if you need a new kicker.
We certainly don't need Jake Moody. So you sat on him for long enough and ruined the man, so we'll not go down that route. But we'll see if we go down a different route next week. But yes, thank you for joining us again, Douglas. Thank you anyone who's watched it. And pick it up later on. And good luck everyone this weekend. Let's see if we can keep the 3-0s, keep the O's there, or if the O's will go. Hopefully, at least Johnny will get off the mark and make him smile a little bit. And we'll see what happens with Ray. But I've got to hope Ray doesn't because he's playing Aaron. So. Outside of that, the O's can stay. Well, Mayo can stay.
Absolutely.